Your 3D reality is going to move on its own based on who you're being. Your 3D reality is always going to match the thoughts that you are thinking and the beliefs that you have. What's up, y'all? If you've been here before, welcome back. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Tierica, and I like to post videos about the law of assumption, manifestation, and mindset shifting, sharing my own personal beliefs and experiences with the intention that you can take something from what I talk about and apply it to your life so you can create the reality of your dreams. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's video. We're talking about taking inspired action and going with the flow versus manipulating the 3D. So let's just go ahead and get into it, right? I feel like a lot of times when we are persisting and we are manifesting things, sometimes you can find yourself basically trying to manipulate 3D because you are trying to help out your manifestation, or you feel like there is something that you need to do for your manifestation. So I just kind of want to go a little bit deeper into that and maybe give y'all some insight, with the intention that a light bulb goes off for you if this is something that you're doing or experiencing, so that you can, kind of shift what you've been persisting in. So as far as like when it comes to manifestation, I did make a video on manifestation is simple. You don't have to lift a finger. And I believe that to be 100% true because I've experienced it. Your manifestations, I believe, will always find you. You do not have to go looking for them. Like, they are going to show up in your reality easily, effortlessly, every time. Like, there's nothing you have to really do to go find them. It's literally just going to pop up for you. That's why a lot of times I tell people when they are like, well, how long should I persist? How long should I affirm for? Nobody can tell you that. Like, you're going to know when you need to stop affirming because your manifestation will be there and you will feel complete. You'll feel like you don't even have to affirm for it anymore. And then other times your manifestation shows up, but then you start having these thoughts of, well, what if I lose it? What if I don't keep it? What if it goes away? That's when you are supposed to keep affirming. So either way it goes, you don't have to go and find and search for your manifestation. Your manifestation is on its way to you and it's coming to find you. So while you're affirming, I just want to explain the difference between like taking inspired action and then actually manipulating the 3D. So let's just take manifesting an SP for example, because that one, I feel like that's a really good example to use. So you're manifesting an SP and you're affirming for this SP, but then you start doing things like telling this person that you're manifesting them and that they're going to be with you forever. You start going on their social media pages, maybe following them to get them to follow you back, or you are purposely trying to go places, maybe to their job, or purposely go places to where you'll run into them. Those are all manipulating the 3D. And to me, those are all just not trusting in your manifestation, not trusting in your desire, not even trusting in your true power, because you think that you have to do these things so that you can get this person. And I don't believe that to be true. You don't have to go out and do these things. Now, what inspired action would look like, on the other hand, is let's say you're affirming for this person, and then it's like you just get this feeling that, oh, maybe I need to reach out. Because I've seen success stories where people were just affirming and they just felt the need to reach out to this person, right? And they reached out to the person and then everything was beautiful. They responded, they had a great conversation, and everything just started unfolding for them. That's where you got to trust yourself. Just like the video that I posted yesterday, you have to trust yourself and you have to just be in tune with yourself. If it's coming to you, right? If this idea is just coming to you and it doesn't make you feel any kind of way, it doesn't feel forced, it's just a natural feeling. It's the easiest way that I can explain it. It's just a natural feeling that comes to you. Follow that. That is what you want to follow. I've That happened to me once with somebody. I had blocked a person and I was still affirming for them, And originally, I wanted them to, find a way to contact me while they were blocked. But one day, it was on me so heavy, just unblock this person. Like, don't even worry about it. Just unblock them. Like, they've been blocked for this amount of time. Just unblock them. And it was like, it's not something that I was forcing myself to think. I wasn't like, oh, yeah, I'm going to unblock this person and this is going to happen. No, it was just a feeling that I had. And I've learned to pay attention to these feelings that come up or these thoughts that, I don't have opposing negative feelings towards them. It just comes up. So whenever that thought came to me, it was like, oh, unblock this person. I just went ahead and unblocked them. And I honestly took the whole day before I did unblock them, but I finally unblocked them. And later on that evening, they messaged me that same day. And I was just sitting there looking at my phone like, that's the reason why I felt this feeling because, I was affirming for them to reach out to me, but that's just how my manifestation played out. Now, could I have continued and ignored that, left them blocked, and, would they have still found a way to contact me? Absolutely. Like, I definitely believe that. I'm not going to knock that. But when I have feelings or thoughts that come up that, like I said, there's no, like, opposing thoughts to them, I just honor them, right? And that's what happened. So if you have somebody blocked right now and you want them to reach out to you, I'm not telling you have to go unblock them, but if that feeling comes up for you, then maybe that's inspired action that you need to take. Now, I am going to say this, because I do believe in taking inspired action, sometimes that will come up for my own personal manifestations. If you don't believe in taking inspired action at all whatsoever, you do not have to adopt that belief. Because again, at the end of the day, inspired action is just a belief, right? Everything is a belief, and it's based on your perspective. So this is my perspective. This is what works for me. This is what I have noticed, with things that I'm affirming for or consciously manifesting, and that's why I'm here sharing them. As far as taking inspired action, that is all tied into you being in tune with yourself and you listening to yourself and just going with the flow. And I believe only you are going to know. You're going to know what's inspired action and what is manipulating the 3D. Because if you have any opposing feelings to an action that you're about to take, you most likely don't need to take it. Like, drop it. Don't even try. Just let it go. Because that is basically telling you you're about to do something that doesn't even need to happen for this manifestation. The whole message in this video that I want you to take away is there's nothing that you have to do to experience your manifestation other than think as the person who has whatever it is that you desire. Manipulating the 3D, I definitely believe, comes from a mindset of lack and thinking that you have to put in some type of work physically to be able to experience your desires. And again, that's just a limiting belief, and it's just not true. It doesn't have to be true if you don't want it to be true. And the way that you would change that mindset is to just know that your manifestations are always going to unfold perfectly. There's nothing you have to do other than affirm, and your manifestations are always going to find you. Like, they're on their way to you right now. Like, your manifestations are yours right now, and it's gonna unfold for you easily, effortlessly, and just training yourself to believe that and to think that. And the way you train yourself to believe it is to just repeat it until you see it in front of you, and then now it's become a belief. But just understanding that there's nothing physically that you have to go and do to be able to experience your manifestation. You don't have to force anything in your 3D reality to match whatever you're affirming, because your 3D reality is going to move on its own based on who you're being. Your 3D reality is always going to match the thoughts that you are thinking and the beliefs that you have. So if you are looking at your 3D reality and you feel like you see lack, you feel like you don't see your desire, you feel like things are going in the opposite way, It does not matter. All that's telling you is to persist as the person who has whatever it is that they desire. Think as the person who has whatever it is they desire, and find ways to saturate your mind with the idea of it being true. Affirming is the one that you just simply cannot get away from, because those are just your thoughts that you're thinking. And as long as you are thinking as the person who has what they desire, that's all that matters. That's all that you have to do. Of course, I love meditation. Um, because I feel like with meditation, you can just say your affirmation and you focus on it. You have your meditation music playing in the background. Then, if you are a visualizer, you start to like visualize your desires, and you just get into this feeling. You literally get into a feeling of having it and experiencing it. At least that's what happens for me whenever I am meditating. And of course, feeling it real is not something that you have to do, but if you're able to do it, go ahead and do it, because it feels good and it really puts you in that state of having. But at the end of the day, it's still all mental, right? It's still all mental. Your 3D reality is waiting on instructions of what to do next, and those instructions are coming from you. Those instructions are your thoughts, the words that you are persisting in, and that is when your 3D reality moves and shifts to match that. It has to, like it's law. That's just how it is. So we're not seeking validation from our 3D reality. That's why we don't have to physically manipulate it, because why would we have to move it physically when mentally is what moves it? Mentally is what moves your 3D reality. So when you feel, or when you realize that you have desires to take inspired action, honor that. Do it. Nothing can go wrong, and make sure you're reminding yourself of that. Nothing can ever go wrong. There's nothing you can ever do to mess up your manifestation ever, because things are always working in your favor. But if you feel the need to take inspired action, or just allow things to unfold for you, and I've said this in another video, but always look at things as just it's working out for me. Assign meaning to whatever you're seeing. It's always working out. That's how you get into a flow state. That's how you really get into a flow with your manifestation and dealing with your 3D reality on a daily basis. Everything is working out perfectly for me. Like, everything is working out perfectly. Like, all of this is happening because it's bringing my manifestation to me perfectly. And by you doing that, you get into this flow state. You are not resistant to your 3D reality. You are not resistant to any circumstance that you see, because you're literally just confirming to your subconscious mind that has no eyes and cannot see, has no opinion, and is not going to fight you on anything. You're confirming to it that you have what you want, even though you don't see it in front of you just yet. Your subconscious mind doesn't know that. Your subconscious mind thinks that you're experiencing it right now. And by your subconscious mind thinking that you're experiencing it right now, it's going to continue to give you more of that, right? But you have to saturate first. And even saying that you have to saturate first, there's a little wiggle room in that, because you can affirm one time and yes, it's instant. You can think something one time and yes, it's instant. But if your 3D does not shift instantly, it's only indicating to you to keep affirming, to keep persisting, so that your subconscious can say, okay, we literally are experiencing this. Like, this is what we're getting. Let me give you more of this, because that's all that it knows. You're in one state right now. You're taking yourself to another state, and you're taking yourself to another state by persisting. You cannot get away from persisting. But while you're persisting, you have to take away that, well, I'm doing this and I don't see any changes. I'm doing this and it's not working. I'm doing this, but I just feel like I'm not getting any results. You're still in a state of I don't have. There's no reason for you to search for these results, because again, your 3D reality is taking instructions from you. So keep applying the instructions, and then it has to show up. That's all it is. If you feel like you don't see your results yet, keep affirming, keep saturating, and just keep persisting. And it has to show up, y'all, because how do you think you got into the place that you're at today? How do you think your life looks the way that it looks today? Whatever it is that is going on in your life right now, how do you think that you got there? You got there because you put yourself there. You either did it unconsciously or consciously, but you thought certain thoughts over and over and over again, and that is what brought you to where you're at now. Sit down, look at some different events in your life, and think about what you were thinking persistently on a daily basis about those things. And that is going to prove to you that you are the one that is creating this entire experience for yourself. All right? Look at these past events and think about what you were saying, what you were persisting in, what you were engaging in, and it's going to validate that this is true. And all you have to do is shift from being in this state that you don't want to be in to this state that you want to be in to experience what you want. All right. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down for me below. If you watched this video until the end, I appreciate you so much, and I will see y'all in the next video.